Hi, I'm in my sister's room today because I just kind of wanted to see how that would work with lighting. So, anyways, so last week was the end of the Muslim month of Ramadan, uh, which, for those of you who don't know, is where you fast, no food, no water, from sunup to sundown for a month. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was thinking a lot about what fasting is objectively, not just as a religious tradition, but in general, because I know that Muslims are not the only uh, they're not the only ones who do some form of fasting. And so I was thinking about like what the benefits, I guess, are like what I don't know. So basically, empathy. That's where I'm going with this. So, yeah, let me try to gather my thoughts a little bit better. Yeah, empathy. So the deal is that I realized that as a future doctor, or as a future, I guess, like individual who wants to devote themselves to service of other people, one thing that I really need to build is a lot of empathy. And since I'm one person and I don't, I don't have time to make like every friend in the world or go to every place or have every single experience, you have to do exercises that like help you produce empathy. So that brings us back to fasting, and I think so what the cool thing about fasting for that long does is, you could fast for a day. And when we fast, the first day is like almost, in my opinion, kind of like easier because you've eaten the day before. But the second day, you don't have that stomach full of food. You just have the morning and the evening meals. And then you fast again. And then as the days go on, it just kind of really tests your endurance. And I feel like anything that really tests your endurance kind of causes you to become really more aware of a lot of little things that you have when you are not called in to test your endurance. So, like, when you're fasting and you're around people, you notice when someone uses phrases like, I'm starving, or wow, I could eat this much, or I'm so hungry. And you know that they're not really starving, they're not really that hungry because you've actually um, have been experiencing and living with the hunger. Um, but I even think people who fast regularly every year during that month, they might notice that during that month and a little bit after. But just a few months later, they'll probably go into the same routine of like using phrases like, gee, I'm starving, when they're not actually starving. And so I think there has to be something always, not just during those times where you're trying to produce empathy. One of them is reading books, books that like, you know, from different perspectives that help you do that. Hang on. Well, I really want to get my point across here a lot more eloquently than I can right now. Um, I was thinking about it the other day. I should just made the video then. But my point, I guess, like I will always be trying to find ways to challenge my empathy. And I think that as a future doctor, I said this before, this is something that's very important and relevant to me. And that will always be the number one reason that I do things like that. Um, to challenge, to challenge my ability to relate to other people or, um, yeah. So, mhm. And yeah.